And we look at how these fighters match up. The big difference, of course, the 11-year age difference. Slight height advantage for Yanqui Diaz, and he'll use that because he wants a box from the outside. And, of course, lots more experience professionally from McCall, but a lot of amateur experience for Diaz.
Mouthpiece is in.
We're set to go for round number 1 in this battle featuring former champion Oliver McCall, who, interesting to note, since that Lewis loss in 1997 is 20-1. So not all the competition has been fantastic in that group, but he has certainly been effective. McCall believes, he calls Yanqui Diaz a survivor. And he said, my mission is to make it so he can't survive. Not really a big ring either, Sean, so there's not that much room for Diaz to move.
It is a big ring, but a fast ring, which would benefit both parties. Fast ring would benefit a fighter that moves around, maneuvers a lot like Yanqui Diaz. Diaz wants to step on the outside. Look how he walks around. He turns it. Turn your opponent, especially somebody with a good right hand like Oliver McCall. McCall, though, look at this pressure from him. Already in this opening round, McCall on the attack. Get in front of your opponent. Make him feel that heat, that pressure. McCall also in this first round, just try some probing shots. Put some punches out there to see how your opponent accepts them.
McCall comes in off a win over Darrell Wilson, knocked him out in 4 rounds. And for Yanqui Diaz, as I mentioned, his last fight, an 8-round loss to Damian Willis, in which he really hurt his ankle, right ankle. It was very swollen, but he managed to get through the 8 rounds, but lost the decision.
I hope McCall doesn't hit him on the ankle.
We'd like to think he won't.
Well, how would you like to have the seat behind Shaquille O'Neal? You know, you pay for the fight and you sit behind Shaquille. How do you see?
You certainly don't want to complain to him, I don't think.
Bring a pillow or something to sit on? Yeah.
Not a good idea. Round 1 of number 10 of 10 rounds. That was Sean O'Grady. I'm Al Bernstein. Jeff DeForest is with us as well from the Seminole Hard Rock Live Arena. We're very happy you joined us this evening. Oliver McCall in the blue trunks, former heavyweight champion, trying to recapture that glory at age 41, ranked 5th, interestingly, by the WBC. So he's a guy that with a couple of wins could very well be in the hunt for some kind of recognition. So I think everyone would agree there's still probably some proving to be done by him.
You know, when you see a lot of these former world champions coming back, I mean, look at the current crop. That's why I like to see the young fighters coming up, because the current crop still trying to make everybody believe that they can be heavyweight champion again. It's good to see the fighters like Roman Greenberg coming up, Mike Malone, all these fighters that are young that are trying to make a run of it. But they certainly look up to those former heavyweight champions like McCall is.
Round 1 coming to a close, a tactical round.
Time.
Well, the fans don't like it. It was McCall pressing throughout that first round. Diaz trying to stay out of the way.
Because they figure he hit you a low blow, and the referee didn't do him back.
I hadn't noticed. Roberto Gomez and Roberto Norris, excuse me, in the corner of Yanqui Diaz.
Both fighters standing between rounds. Yeah, you know, theory of the trainers say to stand up.
Water up. Let's go. Take him down. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
And your mouthpiece.
Let's go.
Yanqui Diaz comes out. I hope they got that mouthpiece in. No stool, as Sean pointed out. Oliver McCall coming in. Oliver McCall's corner, one of the people in there, Gene Price, one of his brothers, who is a pastor at the Union Baptist Church down in Lambert, Mississippi. The whole congregation is watching, and brothers helped him get past some issues in his life.
Anything to help. As a boxer, you walk in that ring all alone. I'm telling you, anything to help.
McCall using his jab early in this round.
Take a look at Yanqui Diaz too. See his feet? When you move to the left, you should move your left foot first. If you move your right, the right foot first. He crosses his feet every time he moves to his left. Look, right there, across his feet. If McCall could see that, spot that. There it is again, across foot. If McCall could see that, crack him right when he steps over. His feet are crossed, he's going down.
Some offense coming from Yanqui Diaz. They haven't seen too much of that. His plan was to come in here and box against Oliver McCall clearly, and he's doing that, much to the chagrin of some of the fans, but for him, tactically, it's the right thing.
Sure it is, and you know what? He practices in the gym being awkward. He's awkward to fight. He's hard to fight. You know,
practice awkwardness?
You do. I'm doing it right now. You do. You practice.
Now that's the line of the night.
Being awkward.
Come on, I got you.
Being unusual. Yanqui Diaz does that.
He
He crosses his feet, which is wrong, but he still makes a light of it. He does a lot like that right there. There's a foot feint. He puts his hands down. He puts his hands up. He moves over to the side. He's a hard guy to fight. Oh, look at that.
It's straight left hand by Yanqui Diaz as Oliver McCall goes backward. There's the right hand of McCall. That is, of course, is his power punch. It's the punch that got him through against Lennox Lewis and changed his career. And he's used it very effectively in many other fights as well. But right now, McCall looking a bit slow. Of course, as you point out, it's not that easy to get to Diaz. He's one of those guys that makes it tough to get to him. There's a short right hand by McCall.
And the first thing any aging fighter loses is speed, the sharpness, the crispness of his punches. You know those fights with Lennox Lewis you're talking about? He fought him twice in '94 and '97. He's almost 10 years really past any kind of prime, obviously. 31 years old when he fought Lennox.
Right hand by Diaz. Diaz getting the right hand, and Diaz has had a better second round, that's for sure. Even though he's been moving, he has landed some punches. And McCall trying to find a way to cut the ring off on him, not too successfully. So a little bit better for Yanqui Diaz in round number 2. And we are headed for the third. We'll listen in and hear what they're saying in Oliver McCall's corner as he gets ready to get some instructions.
You still let him get off.
That's Willie Rush in the corner.
You let him build up. Give me some water, man. You let him build his courage up. Right. Don't let him build his courage. Give him this. But what you got to do with him, you got to. If he jabbed one time, you got to step twice.
Right. Not a pretty good round for Yanqui Diaz. He got in, landed his punches like this right here, and then he gets out. Watch this. Goes in, lands shots. He gets away from him. No retaliation. McCall, there's the best shot of the night from Diaz. Left hook, jumping, kind of a jumping jab left hook.
Diaz, back up in the corner. Box.
We head into round number 3. Oliver McCall in the blue trunks, former heavyweight champion, now a 41-year-old.
Don't hold him, let him go. Don't punch.
And Yanqui Diaz, 30-year-old, former Cuban national champion, who comes in here with a record of 13-4. Diaz had 191 amateur fights, so he was and lost only 14. Very effective as an amateur. And his big win as a pro came against Juan Carlos Gomez, another former Cuban amateur champion. Some awkward action there. And the same Juan Carlos Gomez who actually won a decision over McCall, but then was disqualified and ended up being a no contest because of a drug infraction. So against a common opponent, Diaz has done better, but as we often know in boxing, that doesn't mean that much.
Nothing behind the head, guy. Let's go.
And what a great thing on your resume to have a win over somebody that's a former champion of the world like Oliver McCall for somebody like Diaz.
Oh, this is an important fight for him, clearly. He's lost 3 important fights to Sam Peter Kirk Johnson and that loss to Damian Willis after he had rolled through most of his opposition earlier in his career. And so for Diaz at age 30, this is a This is an important moment.
Come on, Oliver, let him go.
He has a lot of skills.
Come on,
Diaz, you know, he's hard to hit. He's awkward. He moves around. Look, he understands the pace, the tempo, the timing of the fights. And he kind of hits sometimes with an open glove.
Come on,
it's just
punch
to
out.
frustrate his opponent. He gets in his opponent's head.
Punch out. Let him go.
In fact,
Let him go, Diaz.
Oliver McCall in this fight trying to talk to Diaz.
Come on, man. What are you doing? Come on.
Trying to psych him out. Come on, fight. And look at McCall getting back to basics. Look, he brings those hands up, those elbows in tight. The man knows how to fight. Been around boxing a long time. McCall's first fight back in 1985.
Under a minute left to go here in round number 3 in the scheduled 10-rounder. Oliver McCall, the former champion in blue trunks, pressuring Yanqui Diaz, trying to make something happen.
Come on, I got you.
Short right hand on the inside.
Let's go.
This fight different than our first two. Our first two fight, lots of action for the most part through the few rounds that they lasted. This one has been much more strategic.
All right, let's go.
And fought at a much slower pace, but here's McCall trying to get inside with that right hand. He's had a better third round, McCall. So round 3 passes into the night, with both men still trying to figure out their best approach.
Time!
Interesting. The crowd doesn't like it. They want to see more action. But it's a lot of mind games in this fight.
¿Qué te pasa? Vamos para el cuarto. Vamos, ¿qué te pasa?
Breathe. Come here, breathe.
Well, Yanqui Diaz
Next time you hit it behind the head, it's
trying to
point.
peck from the outside, pick and peck. There's a small swing on the break. Frank Gentile does not like that.
Didn't want to get too involved, though.
Look at this. Whoops. Hey, head-to-head, these two. That's what you call head-to-head combat. I think Yanqui Diaz looking a little headbutt.
Come on, guys.
Go ahead.
We head into round number 4 in this match between Oliver McCall in the blue trunks and Yanqui Diaz in the black. Still to come, our other big bout of the evening, Michael Moore taking on Cliff Kauser. That will be next. Right now it's McCall and Diaz. And the first 3 rounds interesting. What was your scoring on the first 3?
Well, I gave the first round to McCall, the second round to Diaz, and then the last round to McCall. I think McCall turned it up a notch that last round. He
All right, come on, I got
the
you. I got
basics
you. Don't
too. He got his hands up. He moved in. He really adapts. You see these fighters, and the good fighters, they can adapt round by round. The great fighters adapt minute by minute in fights, second by second. You know, that's the difference between these two.
An interesting point is that Oleg Moskov is fighting this week, who is a heavyweight champion. Back in 1996, that was a long time ago, I'll grant you.
Wow.
Fought Oliver McCall and got knocked out in round 1. So you can kind of understand that Oliver McCall at 41 thinking, well, let's see now. I knocked that guy out 10 years ago. Why shouldn't I try and get another shot at a heavyweight title? So it's an interesting time for the heavyweights. Well, a point being deducted by Frank Gentile.
Knock it off.
No pulling down
Let's go.
behind. That's another tactic to frustrate your opponent. Be awkward, pulling down by the back of the head.
Hey.
Ooh, now McCall hitting on the break.
Everybody's going to get a warning.
Let's go. Let's go.
So it's getting a little chippy in there, and we'll see if more points are deducted along the way. Now that's a blow, certainly that point being deducted to Diaz, so he's going to have to try and pull this round out to get it even. But here comes McCall with the jab and a good straight right hand.
A good double jab, pretty fast on that. And on the attack, look at this pressure from McCall. This round compared to the last round.
Don't turn your back, Oliver. Don't turn your back.
It was a spin. Look at that spinning around.
Is that a double sound count? What was that? Under a minute left to go. Where's Dick Buttons when you need him? Under a minute left to go here in round number 4. Short chopping right hand by McCall.
Gotcha.
McCall, make him work. Look at this pressure. Oliver on top.
All right, I got you. I got you.
Oliver coming back
I
at
got you. Don't
41.
punch.
No wonder he thinks he's still a young man.
Keep it
We
clean.
all remember ourselves at our very best when we were young and tight,
Come on,
virile,
I got
and
you.
we
I
could go
got
out there and score
Put a hold in him.
knockouts or whatever we did when we were young. Just go get them. We all remember that.
Come on,
Football
punch
players,
out.
they
Let's
remember
go.
their
Come on.
glory days. They don't remember when it was hard and knocking down on the canvas and trying to find your mouthpiece. They don't remember that.
Well, right now it's working out a little better for Oliver
You do it
McCall.
again, I'm going
See
to
how
tell
round
you, you're going
five
to get
goes.
disqualified. Time! Oh.
Well, Yanqui Diaz, he lost 1 point in the last round for pulling down on the head. Might want to remind him not to do that. And here is what happened. Hitting the back of the head, and
So it may have been actually for hitting him back of the head as opposed to pulling down, which we thought was the original ruling.
well, a little retribution in there. It's McCall with a little, there you go, take that. None of that pulling down on the back of my head or no punching me in the back.
Come on now. Come on, guys. We don't work on slipping. Make him miss and hurt it.
So we're approaching the halfway point in this 10-rounder. We head into round 5. Oliver McCall, 41-year-old former heavyweight champion
Step back.
in the
Step back.
blue
That's a
trunks against Yanqui Diaz, the 30-year-old former amateur champion from Cuba. And Yanqui Diaz, managed by Wes Wolf, who formerly managed the lightweight that you know about, Greg Haugen, who was quite a force in the lightweight division.
Force and just a tough, rough
Yeah,
guy.
he was.
When you fought Greg Haugen, you better be in shape because he was.
All right, I got you.
He was non-stop. He was a bell-to-bell
pull it
bomber,
in.
Greg
Come on.
Haugen.
Yeah, he really was. And now Wes Wolf hoping to make something happen with Yanqui Diaz in the heavyweight division. This is a match, Sean, in which you can honestly say both men haven't exactly gotten done what they wanted to get
Don't turn
done.
your head, Oliver.
It's
Don't
been
turn your
fought
head.
at a pretty
Keep 'em straight.
slow pace.
Well, for
All right, I got you. Don't
McCall
punch.
at this
Don't punch.
point,
I mean, he's probably winning the fight, but I just don't know if this is exactly the way he envisioned this performance.
no,
All right, keep
and
your
when
head
you're
up.
a former
Keep your head
heavyweight
up.
champion of the world,
Come on, I got
you've
you.
got
I
to
got you.
be
Don't punch.
cautious who you face
Come on,
because
guys.
you've got to
Come on.
face
Knock it off,
those
all right?
that make you
Come on.
look young again. You got to face those that make you look that complement your
Come
style.
on, punch out.
You know, they can't
Punch
remember
out.
Jimmy Young whenever.
Oh, yeah, my
nobody
goodness.
would fight Jimmy Young.
No.
Come on, work.
Because
Let's go.
you couldn't fight him. You couldn't hit him with a handful of salt.
Let him go. Come on, let him go.
Well, now
let him go.
You can't fight at this age.
All right, I got you. I got you. Don't
Oliver
punch.
must
Don't
fight
punch.
somebody that he can hit. I mean, he's a hard puncher. He's a very schooled fighter. He knows the boxing business.
Turn your
He's
head,
gotta fight
Oliver.
the right kind of opponent.
Now, Yanqui Diaz is probably at the point in this fight where he needs to start thinking about some more offense, and he seems to be throwing a few more punches here in round 5, and there was an excellent right hand. So he's keenly
Gotcha.
aware that he's,
Don't push.
with the point deduction and losing some of these rounds, he's got to make something happen. With a minute left to go here in round 5, he's having a pretty good 5th round.
And look at this turn. Hey, he's got a lot of skills and some good attributes. Diaz does, pulling out of the way of those punches.
I got you. Don't punch. Don't punch. Don't punch.
He's allowing McCall to steal a lot of the play though from this pressure from McCall. And McCall really, when he grits his teeth and he throws his combinations, he really does some damage.
And sometimes when you go backwards all the time in a fight, even if you're landing, the judges don't like it. For the most part, Diaz has been going backwards in this fight.
Well, there is
All right, let him go. Let him go. Don't
the
punch.
judges
Don't punch.
that are
Don't
looking
punch.
for effective aggressiveness. And when you're going backwards all the time, it's hard to score that. Judges look for a fight too, somebody that's setting the fight, that's forcing the fight, that's setting the pace.
So round 5 might be a pivotal round, a better round for Yanqui Diaz, but was it one that he won? We'll hit round 6.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Time.
So we are here at the Seminole Hard Rock
How do I get
Live
these
Arena, the Seminole Tribe of Florida, running this great facility, as they have many of them, and it's been a big week for the Seminole tribe, that's for sure, with their acquisition of all the hard rock properties around the world, and they're excited about it. Let's hear what Willie Rush is saying to Oliver McCall.
If you throw this in and he's trying to counter, stop, go back down there. Don't just throw the punch and then let him counter on you. You let him just look like a monster up there and he can't fight. Like, come on.
Willie Rush, a former boxer. What a great name for a fighter, too, Willie Rush. I thought those guys Willie Win.
Yeah, that's a
guy
good name.
Slip going to him. Don't
Willie
slip him
Drop.
back out. Okay. You all right? Yeah.
We move into round number 6.
Hold on,
Sean
hold on.
will be appearing at the Improv here on the property.
If your waiters and waitresses on the way out.
Next week.
Okay, let's go.
So
Time in.
momentary pause.
Let's
Frank
go.
Gentile making sure that the corner was all squared away for Oliver McCall, and Willie Rush obviously urging McCall. He may have let Diaz steal that last round, and they weren't too thrilled about it. McCall in the blue trunks, Yanqui Diaz in the black with the white stripe.
Keep him up.
We're past
Keep
the
'em up.
halfway point in this match. Probably the big news, the point deduction from Yanqui Diaz that turned one of the rounds into a 10-8 round.
And back in the 4th round.
Yep.
And in the last round, I thought I didn't really give that to either
Come on,
fighter.
punch
Even
out,
the crowd
guys. Come
booed
on.
at the end
Let
of
him
the round.
go.
It
You
Let him
had
go,
that one
Diaz.
even-
Let him
had
go.
it even for both a 10-10 round.
Frank
Yeah,
Gentile
hold it.
taking a kind of a passive approach in getting in there, and that might not be the best thing
Come on,
because
I
both
got you.
these
Don't
men
punch. Don't punch.
are anxious to
Don't
hit each other on
Hey,
these breaks, so he
quit
may have to
holding.
really
Quit holding.
be more firm
right, let's
with
go.
both these men as the fight goes on.
And they're big men. Diaz 246, McCall 259.
Watch that shoulder, Oliver.
You know, and for McCall, at this point, it's time to end this fight. McCall, you really have to do everything you can to get a knockout here. You can't allow this one to go.
Come on,
much
let him go.
longer.
Let him go.
Scheduled for 10.
Come on.
But
I got
McCall's
you,
the
I got
former
you.
heavyweight
Don't
champion of the
punch.
world.
Come on.
Make a
Let him
statement,
go.
and you have to make it now.
Now, your overall score, we talked about the last round being even, your overall scoring in this fight?
49,
I got you, I got you,
46. I got McCall ahead, 3 points.
Appropriately. Right hand
Yanqui
by
Diaz still in there. You know,
Yeah.
he's just making McCall look
Don't punch.
No.
Don't punch.
lethargic, slow, old. Just a hard guy to look against.
Step back. Step
But
back.
look at
Step
look
back.
at
I say
McCall.
break,
He's
step back.
41. He's still dancing out there. He's moving around. He's working
Keep
very
him up.
hard.
Keep him up, Diaz.
Right hand gets in by Diaz. And so here
Let him
in
go.
round
Come on.
number 6,
Come on.
McCall, for the most part, pressuring Diaz.
work inside.
Still not
Come on.
able to
Let him
land
go.
the shots as effective as he might like to, but he's getting more in. Nice uppercut on the inside by McCall.
Yeah,
All right, I got you. Don't punch.
Though,
I got you.
He's looking for the KO blow.
Well, he, in truth, honestly speaking, Oliver McCall,
Don't punch. Your head up.
age has taken
your
its
head up.
toll in terms of his hand speed and his quickness, and so not able to get his punches off, I don't think, as well as he would like, and that's the issue you face when you're an older fighter. The power is still there, but
Come on, work. Let's
sometimes
go.
can you get that punch off as quickly as
Don't
you'd like?
punch.
Seconds remaining here in round number 6 of this scheduled 10-rounder, and Oliver McCall looks like
All right, I
he
got
may
you, I
put
got you.
another
Don't
one
punch.
in his column here in round number 6.
I'm gonna get him. I'm getting him. But you got to stop stiffing up when you move. When you move,
Nice crowd on hand. You know, they've always supported boxing well here in South Florida.
And this is a great venue, of course. We've been down here for the Seminole Warriors boxing, and this venue is just fantastic, and
Yes, it is.
on all levels.
Big smile. Look at that. Yanqui Diaz smiling in the corner.
Come on, let's go.
Making jokes
Let's go.
over there.
Seconds out. Got your mouthpiece in? Yeah, get back in your corner. Watch the holding.
We head into round number 7. I'm Al Bernstein, along with Sean O'Grady, Jeff DeForest, our third
I got
man
you. I
on
got you.
the
Don't punch. Come on.
telecast.
Come on. Let's do a
And
little
we're
fight.
glad
huh?
that you joined us. Frank Gentile, the third man in the ring, and
Come on, let him go.
in the
Let's go.
black, it's Yanqui Diaz, the 30-year-old former Cuban national champion who just landed a very nice right hand to the head of Oliver McCall. McCall, of course, a former world champion, 41-year-old. And now McCall lands a nice straight left hand. Diaz with a record of 13-4, but has lost 3 of his last 5 fights. 2 were no contests, and the other 3 were losses. So he's going kind of sideways in his career right now.
Come on, punch out, guys. Come on. Come on.
Lost
Show
to
me you
Kurt
can do it.
Johnson, to Samuel Peter, Damian Wills in his last fight.
There's McCall using the jab.
Come on.
And the uppercut on the inside. Mentioned that McCall is 20-1 since that loss to Lennox Lewis back in 1997. Obviously not all of those against big name opponents, but sprinkled in there was a win over Henry Akinwande, among others, Cedric Fields, who's a pretty decent heavyweight. The win over Juan Carlos Gomez, though actually no contest against him, and Darrell Wilson, a pretty decent fighter, but for the most part has not fought monstrous opposition.
No, but he wants to fight monstrous opposition.
Yes, he does. It's true.
He is kind of like a sleeping giant. You really got nothing
punch
to
loose.
win
Come on,
facing him if you're a champion. He's good. He hits hard.
All right, hold it.
He's got experience. He's a veteran.
Stop.
And he could beat you.
He's ripping uppercuts on the inside.
Holding.
Well, there's going to be a point taken away for holding against Yanqui Diaz by Frank Gentile.
Right, do it again, or you're out of here.
Second time in this fight, a point has been deducted from Diaz. And that will not help his cause.
1 point back in the 4th for hitting him in the back of the head.
Big uppercut by Oliver McCall as the punch is landed.
6, 7, 8.
Or a big uppercut while he was going backwards.
10.
He's not going to beat the count.
Well, because Oliver McCall kind of lengthened that count, it looked like he might get up, but he didn't. So Oliver McCall uses the power that has been his trademark, the right hand, and gets the knockout he's so much wanted against Yanqui Diaz. The right hand, of course, is his weapon of choice, and it was what did it on the inside. Excellent uppercut. Yanqui Diaz goes down here, and Oliver McCall protects his ranking and his apparent ability to get some kind of major fight in the heavyweight division.
The Atomic Bull, he normally is known for throwing that right hand over the top. In that instance, he was throwing it underneath the uppercut. A great weapon, a difficult weapon to defend against, but he got Diaz as he was leaning in and then cracked him with that uppercut. Oliver McCall, oh, he worked up a good sweat too. He's tough, and here he is, watch him backing up, and here comes Diaz, and down to the canvas. Hit him with 2 of those uppercuts. What an unusual punch that is. How do you defend against an uppercut? Split your opponent's elbows and drive it home right into his chin. There it is again. The uppercut, the first one did a lot of damage. He spins him around, the second one, and a third that put Diaz to the canvas.
So, Oliver McCall is able to get the knockout victory. Frank Gentile had to warn him to go back to his corner, which may have lengthened his count a bit, but it still wasn't enough for Yanqui Diaz, who was clearly not ready to continue in this fight. The reaction of McCall, very thrilled that he was able to get the win. Let's go to Bob Alexander for the results.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel Casino, Hollywood, referee Frank Gentile reaches the count of 10 at 2 minutes, 28 seconds of round number 7. Your winner by knockout, Oliver, the Atomic Bull McCall.
Oliver McCall notches a victory at his 49th as a pro against 8 losses. But most importantly, keeps alive his hope of fighting again for the World Championship. And Sean O'Grady is with him getting ready to get with him right now, and as soon as he's ready, we'll go up to him. But a big win for Oliver McCall, one that might get him a chance against Samil Sam, who is the fourth ranked fighter in the WBC. They're working on that match, trying to make it happen, and we may hear more about that as Sean gets ready to talk to Oliver McCall. They're ready now. Let's go to Sean.
Thanks, Al. Oliver McCall, congratulations. What a hard guy to fight.
Yeah, he really wasn't that hard. It's just that I had got injured a while back, and that caused me to not throw a certain punch that I can throw real great. But it's getting much better, so I'm saying it now, so just in case, hey, when I fight again, it's healed. It's healed. But
it's healed. You're ready to ascend in this heavyweight division. But tonight you used the uppercut at the end. Why did you use that weapon?
Well, I seen that he was getting tired. He was holding a lot. So I noticed that he was dodging my right hand a lot. So since I couldn't land the right hand properly, I said, well, I'm going to throw that little sharp uppercut. And boom, I hit him. And I know that that's a devastating punch of mine, so I used it.
That's a devastating punch. You know what? You look like you were 30 and he was 41. At the end of that fight, he was coming in, you caught him. What did you see?
Well, I saw a lot of different things, I saw that he was punching wild. He had pretty, his boxing skills a little bit better than I actually thought.
Mine's got to be pretty good here.
He was pretty elusive. And so I had to take my time. Yeah. And then I noticed that he started getting confidence when he tagged me with a couple of shots. But as you know, I got the iron chin. I could take the punch from whoever. I could take the most devastating punch, and I could also give one.
Where do you go from here? Former heavyweight champion of the world, what do you want to do next?
Well, of course I want to fight any of the champions. Come on, prove me wrong. That second Lennox Lewis fight, that's long gone. We talking 9 years. We talking 21 victories after that. We talking, I got a world title now. I want to get the major world titles. I want them all. Ole Maskev, I knocked you out in 1 round. Give me that rematch like Hasim Rahman gave you the rematch. I guarantee I'll knock you out.